doesn't hit anybody, but Clay is there to clean up the kill. 140-second lead for Faze. This one is done, Revan.
Yeah, for sure. The story of this game has been the slang from Faze. DT had absolutely no answer. Sure, early on, Diabolic, he was the lead slayer in the entire game, but with nobody to help him out, there's nothing that DT could really do. You know, Faze, they're hitting their shots. Clayster pops his camel right here. He finds one, make it two, turn around for the third. Can't finish it up, but guess what? He's got a teammate here to rely on. It's going to be Enable here to trade that kill out. Attached now inside the hard point. He's finding some kills as he has over 2 minutes, 20 seconds. Yeah, this game is long over.
They'll win on the hard point. There's a Cerberus on the map. That one got out of hand quickly. Faze, well, they tell DT, welcome to the 100-point club. 3 players drop 30, while on the other side of things, 3 players from DT barely even reached the teens in the kills.
Nobody positive for DT.
Oof, rough game 1 there for Dream Team. They've definitely got to put that one behind them as they head later on in the series.
Yeah, they got to find a way to put it behind them. That was not a pretty game from the guys over on Dream Team, but now we're going to be moving into Search and Destroy on evac. Will be map number 2 here. So maybe a map where they could try to find a way or maybe find a win in the series.
Yeah, I casted Faze versus DT this past weekend in the 25K, and these two teams, they've actually already gotten a lot of experience playing against each other as the DT is still a relatively new lineup.
Yeah.
One thing I'm wondering in Search and Destroy, you know, how much of a focus is there on the sniper rifles of Faze to kind of limit them out on a map like evac, especially where sniping is not nearly as...
I remember Attach finds a way to just make it work
he always will, but it's a little bit more forced, if we're being quite honest, compared to some of the other S&Ds. Also, you know, hey, do the tacticals make it in? How does that affect the game? Tacticals, very useful on evac, Search and Destroy. Let's take a look at the after-action report to really see who the standout players were, and look at that. 30 and 18, 32 and 19, 30 and 20. And then you got Attach with, hey guys, you know what? You guys get all the kills. I'll just make sure we win the darn map. Only 34 engagements from Attach, while Clayster had 50, 48, even 51 from Zuma. Pretty crazy stuff to show, hey, Faze know their roles. They stick in them to help them win the game. And from start to finish, Faze took the lead, and they didn't look back.
I mean, Diabolic, he starts this game out, what was it, like 12 and 2? Something crazy like that. He was unable to earn, you know, all of his score streaks. Didn't get streaked out. I think he only got a lightning strike from his series there. But, you know, once he slowed down, DT just kind of fell further and further out of the game here. Zuma going big on the anchor, just holding down that backside position. Really good stuff coming out of Faze. You know, when you talk about their ability to just slay on the outsides of the hard point, it was just unanswered from the guys over on Dream Team.
Yeah, from start to finish, Faze, they ran away with that one, and honestly, I don't know about you, but I kind of expected that.
Oh, yeah.
I know Faze haven't looked as strong in the hard points as of late, but DT with Killa as their new 4th man, I mean, they're just missing something right now, especially in that game mode. It seems like it's 4 very individual players instead of kind of a coordinated team.
Well, you kind of look at, like, the kind of pace every player plays at. You have Chino and Sunder, they're pretty slow assault rifle players. You have Killa, he's one of the most aggressive SMGs in all of Call of Duty. You have Diabolic, sure, he could get kind of aggressive, but for the most part, you know, when you think of like aggressive SMG guys that are in your face constantly, Diabolic not really a face that you kind of see in that type of role. So yeah, like you were saying, everybody just kind of playing pretty individualized. That's definitely something they need to change up if they want to hang in the hard points. And unfortunately for them, time's starting to wind down if they want to get out of that relegation zone.
They are in a tough spot now. For me, it is a must-win these next 2 games.
Yeah, you can't.
I look for Faze to be very strong in CTF. If DT want to win this series, they need to do kind of what everyone expects of DT already, is you need to win both S&Ds, and you need to seek a respawn. I think their best chance of seeing a respawn is going to be Game 3, which will be Breach Uplink.
The crazy thing is, you know, if DT win, you know, like half of the Game 5s that we've seen them in, they're not in relegation anymore.
Yeah. It's the same thing with Cole. I mean, Cole are... Yes, they're turning things around. You know, they had a slow start, but they're like 6 and 2 or something like that in Game 5s.
If Complexity lose all their Game 5s, they're near the bottom of the standings.
Yeah, they are like dead last. It's those storylines that are always quite interesting between the teams. As we mentioned, be sure to stay involved on Twitter. Send us your predictions for this series at CourageJD, at RevanJB. Be sure to share some of your thoughts here.
I want to see some pictures of you guys using the in-game viewer.
Yeah. That's actually awesome. I had a main menu for a second. I look in the top right. I see CWL
You're about
Live.
to pull it up and watch
I was about to watch myself, critique myself, you know, give me some constructive criticism for my casting from that first match.
So we could actually stream the stream that's inside the game.
I'm down. I'm down. Cast the stream through the stream.
Yeah. Streamception.
Ooh, that was a good word, Revan. I'll give you that one. Nice job. Nice job. That was definitely pretty crafty. We do have the players in the lobby. We'll be hopping in quite quickly. If you're new to competitive Call of Duty, we do a best-of-5 series. Hardpoint kick things off, which we just saw. Then Search and Destroy. Then Uplink, followed by CTF. And then if it goes to that Game 5, the most intense game mode, yet again, S&D. We do play first to 6 round wins. We'll take home that game, and in a Game 5, take home the series. We hope you're all enjoying the Week 8 coverage. Once again, only 3 matches tonight on the primary stream, so it's even more important than ever to make sure you have that secondary stream ready to go on another window on your monitor. Evac S&D, Revan. Now, between these two teams, what are you looking for? What do DT try to do to try to catch Faze off guard?
I really feel like this map is all about playing as a team and playing for those trades. On the defensive end, both bomb sites are really on opposite sides of the map of each other.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to get an even spread, whereas on a map like Stronghold, where everything's kind of pretty close quartered, the defensive players can kind of play, very close together and work those trades very easily. So for that reason, I expect there to be some holes in the defensive setup, but I want to see the defensive side kind of playing together and kind of, when it comes to like the man advantage, fighting on an even front against the offensive push.
Oh, for sure. I think that one big thing to watch out for is your ARs need to be very precise on this map. There is many power positions on the defensive side where, only
really mid control because you can easily rotate to either 2 bomb sites.
Yeah.
But when you're kind of defending mid, there's so many different things you need to look out for. And going back to your point about the assault rifle players, how they need to be precise with their shots, they also need to be very aware.
Yeah.
So many times we've seen players kind of utilize the wall running, especially on this map, to kind of get behind enemy lines. And as we move into the ban and protects here, expect to maybe see blast suppressor or afterburner targeted here.
Wouldn't be too surprised. Killa again in charge of banning out that rapid fire. Clayster wondering where he will go. Heatwave off the board now from Faze.
So maybe targeting Diabolic there, but we've seen Heatwave come up clutch time and time again in Search and Destroy, especially when you get down to, that kind of 1v1 situation. Heatwave definitely one of the better specialists you could have in that specific scenario. Overclock will get targeted here by Chino. Now it's going to be Zuma's turn. Maybe we start to see them target the tacticals as we move on in ban and protects.
Wouldn't be too surprised. I mean, definitely a very popular pick, Zuma, to go with his draft. And it's going to be the smoke ban, which is something, you mentioned, especially in the hard point. In S&D, can be used very well near bottom kitchen. You throw it in that hallway. It completely blocks any push from the opposing team. Can also let you get kind of a sneak plant down, as it gives you just enough duration to plant that bomb. In competitive Call of Duty, 5-second plant time, 7.5-second defuse time. Attach and Sender now up for their respective teams. Teams taking their sweet time in this ban and protect phase.
So flashbangs will get banned out. High caliber still in play. Concussions will get protected. So that's something that's going to change up the pace in the game. Now, when we talk about what third perks you're going to use, where do we go from here? Do you try to do maybe like blast suppressor tac mask, dead silence tac mask? Do you just say, screw it, I'm going to call your bluff. I'm not worried if I get stunned out here. I'm just going to be running dead silence blast suppressor.
If I'm making an executed push, let's say, towards top glass, I'm going with no dead silence. I'm just going tac mask, and I'm forcing. It's kind of like a B Street push on Infection S&D. But, hey, if I want to make a play for middle map, I want to try to catch my opponents off guard, then I kind of like dead silence a little bit more. You wait out some of the tacticals to be used, then you make a play in ban and protect phase. Nothing too crazy. Really, the most standout one was that protect on the concussion.
I kind of feel like if you're on the defensive end of things, you kind of need dead silence and blast suppressor, because if you're trying to fight for a retake of a bomb site, you can't give up any information on just based on sound. Whereas if you're on the offensive side of things, you can kind of do something like an all-in push where you won't maybe need blast suppressor or dead silence, but kinetic armor makes it through here. It's going to be attach and sender, both picking it up. Nice to see DT starting to use kinetic armor a bit more.
Yeah, they definitely kind of realize, hey, this is
this is pretty
darn good specialist. Let's make sure we have that in our arsenal. glitch from Diabolic and Enable. We've seen glitch more and more as of late. Faze, we saw the big play Clayster made last week against Envy.
Dude, how come every week I see you making another big play with glitch?
It's such a flashy specialist, right? And I have honestly now have used it so often that maybe 1 out of every 10 times I use it, I'm surprised at where I am. Like, I go to glitch and I'm like, oh, I'm going to land right here. And then I'm 20 feet behind that and I go, okay, I'm not even remotely close to hitting the guy. But for the most part now, and you've seen this more and more from pro players, even Clayster when facing Aches, he glitches, he knows kind of where he'll be, and immediately recognizes the situation, gets the kill he needs to. Glitch can be fantastic, especially in those one-on-one, one-on-two scenarios. We saw what Goonjar can do with it. You know, you plant the bomb, right as you're done planting, they spot you, they go to kill you, you glitch out. It's like a cat with 9 lives. You just somehow stay alive.
There's so many different ways you could use that specialist. You could be kind of live bait with it.
Yep.
You kind of push forward, soak up some bullets, glitch back, allow your teammate to trade the kill. You could use it in a clutch situation, you know, planting the bomb. We see it used on Breach a lot, especially over near that A bomb site. That's so exposed. You hit that bomb down, you're like, I don't feel safe anymore. I'm just going to glitch back. Tell me about, like, how are you able to predict kind of like your past where you're going to glitch back to?
It's just, you kind of get a feel for it. It's one of those where it's still got that random element. So you just kind of know, all right, from using it so often, if I move from this point to this, I should be where I want. We saw actually a clip from, I believe it was Karma's stream this past week. Karma and Formal were testing it out in Uplink.
Oh, I saw
where
that.
Where basically they had Formal, let's say you have full control of your opponent's base, right? And the guy is still running up with the drone. It's going to take him a little while. Well, you have your glitch player double jump through their portal, move away from it, then you pass the drone to the guy, he glitches back into the portal, you get the easy dunk in. It's small things like that that I think players will begin to experiment with more and more, especially when overclock is available. Now, I wanted to bring this up with you, Revan, because overclock not available in this S&D. Afterburner is still up.
Yeah.
Nades are still available too. I feel like on defense right now, you need to be rocking double nades, where on offense, you got to make the decision to either go with Flak Jacket or Afterburner to try to use some of those crazy wall runs to get an advantageous position.
That's very true, and, you know, just like we were having that discussion about the third perk, the first perk is very interesting as well, and that's why I think kind of when we move into Stage 1 playoffs, I think players are kind of saving those perk 1 greed bands, perk 3 greed bands for the LAN qualifier. You know, they might be practicing kind of in their unofficial matches with those not being allowed in the game.
Yeah, I think the big site to watch out for in this one gonna be that B-bomb site inside bottom kitchen. It's one that is so heavily contested. The outer wall run can be so lethal if you catch your opponents off guard. We have loaded into it, though. Game number 2, Faze up 1-0 in the best of 5. We'll have to see if DT can bounce back.
All right, so Killa decided to use just 1 first perk and just 1 third perk. Let's take a look at the rest of his team. Okay. As, well, 2 of his teammates are already dead. Definitely not the start you wanted for DT. No. Killa will be able to trade 1 kill out, but
Chino's going to die here, too. This is a really awkward position for Chino. 2 players from Faze should begin to challenge. They've got Zuma, who gets the kill in middle map, and just like that, it's Chino left to the 1-on-3. There he goes. Faze, solid round win. 2 kills from Zuma, and I mentioned, you know, middle map control. How do you wind up wanting to play around it? Well, Faze send 3 players right on through. They get the kills they need, and then they just track back to their base to kill the overextending Chino. Solid round 1 from Faze Clan.
Right, you kind of have, you know, a good 15, 20 seconds to play around your middle map before you have to worry about the offense pushing far enough forward that they're going to be contending for position near your base. So Faze kind of recognizing that timing, they're able to exploit it. They find 2 early kills, and then from there, they just work the man advantage. But it looks like it's going to be an A-bomb site hit here from Faze. It's attached with the sniper rifle. There's a player over near top class. It looks like he might have spotted his toes as that player is forced to retreat.
Just quickly check Twitter. So many people sending us pictures of them watching from the live event viewer. That is absolutely great to see, guys. Hope you're all enjoying that one. Call of Duty esports always continually improving. Gotta love the support we've seen from the developers. But it's Attach who's just trying to stay alive, and you can see Clayster played all the way in the back of the base, waited for Diabolic to move on through. Great bait and switch from Faze there.
You know, if you're in Clayster's position right there, you got to be so paranoid, man. You don't know if they're going to be wall running all the way around. You don't know exactly where they're going to be coming from. So being able to spot that player flanking early on and taking him out,
oh my God,
going to be so comfortable. Attach could have died like 5 different times in this round, but somehow he's been able to stay alive.
It's the trust he has in his teammates. He doesn't even try to shoot him. He just immediately backs up, gets away. Now he'll spot someone bottom hard point. There's the kill, and just like that, again, it's Sender's a 1v3. This time it's Sender in that awkward position.
Yeah, Zuma was coming around the flank, and anytime you're playing against Zuma, it's almost kind of worth just kind of playing. He's going to be coming around that flank sooner or later, so you might as well just kind of be prepared for it.
Just walk backwards?
Yeah. because you know.